What up YouTube, it's Misery Hates Company. In this video, we're looking at the very best PVE heroes for August in Marvel Future Revolution. It is our monthly tier list update. If you saw my last video, we did PvP. In this video, we are covering PvE. Again, we are S, A, B, C, and D. And of course, S tier is only being held by category by one person to showcase the true absolute best for that area. For PvE, I do break it down by single target and then multi-target because there's a lot of different PvE game types, and it's really, I didn't want to break it down by each individual type like I did for PvP, but this does do, in my opinion, the best justice for both what's best for single target and then what's best for multi-target fights, because they're pretty different, some similarities, but different. The same, but different. What movie is that from? Put in the comments below. Man, I will give you a heart in the comments if you know what movie that's from. But anyway, put your guesses below, and without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. All right, so like I did for the PvP video, we are going to have our Wolverine kind of leveling up in the background because I'm still trying to get him to 120 and still working on our 1-star guide. So let's go ahead and pull up the tier list. I said 1-star guide. It's the 1-star challenge. Hello, Misery. Whatever. Moving on, we have our tier list. So first things first, you can see I have both single target and multi-target on screen. So take a screenshot if you want to see it. But if you want to know why I put everyone where I did, make sure you watch the video to the very end. So we're just going to start from top to bottom. Again, this month we did get Scarlet Witch transmutation available, and we got Wolverine with his transmutation. So lots of fun things happen in August. So first things first, Captain America is both C for PvE for single target and multi-target. He just isn't made for PvE. And again, as I mentioned previously in the PvP video, this is assuming everyone is the same exact power, which is 2 million power, sort of like a slightly above average Joe, if you will. But I don't think that there's really been any real adjustments to Captain America or Captain Marvel. So both of them are staying in C tier in my opinion. Single target, Spider-Man actually does pretty decent. There's a couple of really strong builds out there. Wolverine actually had one that he did with Half Sin, which was a very good build for single target PvE. So make sure you check that out. And then for multi-target, he does okay, but that's not really where he shines. He shines way more in PvP, but he does okay in single target PvE. Moving on, we have Black Widow and Iron Man. They both are staying at A tier. Currently, I had no changes there. Doctor Strange is actually still staying at B tier, so not a lot of changes to the PvE tier list. We had a lot of buffs and nerfs that are going to affect other things on this list. And there have been some adjustments to who holds the S tier, which you're going to notice right now. So Star-Lord previously held the S tier for single target. The S tier now goes to Scarlet Witch. In my opinion, this could go back and forth. I just think that she does a ton of damage now that she has Transmutate available. She's very, very squishy, but really does do a just crap ton of damage. I was really hesitant on giving her S tier. She's at least A, probably like an S minus, but I really don't know currently like who would be S tier over her. So that's why I did land where I did, because Star-Lord did receive a bit of a nerf to his overall damage. He still does phenomenal. Same with Storm. Storm and Star-Lord got the same nerf. If you're not familiar with what it is, basically they lowered the cap for elemental damage. They still do well, but not as good as they once were. So if we look down to, okay, so Storm, however, is still S tier in my opinion for multi-target PvE. That is really her bread and butter. That's where she does the best in, and that's where she continues to do fairly well. If you look at single target, we're going down to Magic. I have her as C tier for single target and B tier for multi-target. She's just okay in both categories. Nothing crazy, but she does decent. Moving on to Scarlet Witch, again, S tier for single target, A tier for multi-target. She has she has two very, very strong multi-target options. And then if you just dramatically change her overall build, you can definitely do a decent amount of damage. So she's definitely good in multi-target, but I do think in single target, she shines the best. Wolverine, new to the game. PvE wise, he has a lot of survivability, which isn't necessarily relevant in PvE. He does have a couple of very, very, very strong hitting skills, so he does hold his own, but I don't see him topping charts as of yet, and people are still very much trying to figure out their builds for Wolverine for both PvE and PvP. I did do a video guide all about this previously, so check out my PvP or my build playlist to see what those videos are all about. I still feel very strong about my opinion on the best build for Wolverine. I do think that they're one of the best options to have a really balanced Wolverine, sort of very attack focused, but built very tanky at the same time, so you can survive longer but do more damage. But again, in doing so, you don't need a lot of survivability in PvP or PvE, excuse me. So that is actually going to do it for this PvE video for August. I think that there has been less movement on the PvE front than there has been on PvP, which is why this video is a little bit shorter than my last one. But again, I think that it's nice to see there are changes from month to month, so I will continue doing this series. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Scarlet Witch is S tier for single target? I had a lot of people disagree with me last time, which again, it's my opinion, so it's not that I'm wrong. You just feel differently, which is fine. Just, you know, be nice in the comments. I'm happy to entertain any conversation with you guys. And until next time, lock it in.